Yo, what's going on, everybody? Sentient back again with another one. And as usual, I'm a bit late once again with getting the news out or just covering it in general. Uh, and this time's no exception. But we do have a lot to talk about today. Again, we have a new opening cinematic that just dropped last night, actually, for the game for Wuthering Waves. And not only that, we have a dev blog and stuff for the upcoming closed beta test that's about to drop tomorrow. Some info on that and what's happening with that. So, but to start this off, let's just dive right into this and let's go straight into the cinematic. It's a 4 minute long little piece. It's called Set Sail. But let's get started. Let's see how this is. Is that a For a moment, I thought that looked like an alien in disguise or something. Wait, what the heck is going on? I remember seeing her from the previous gameplay trailer. I don't know who she is. She looks like a god or something. Uh, she pulled out like some power from him or something. She resonated him. Oh. I love the music. It sounds so good for the OST. Pretty characters. The character design is so crazy. For a moment, I thought she pushed him down. He was gonna fall into like the planet or something, but that would have been. Uh, I guess that's not how it turned out. Oh, interesting. I could hear the OST from like Punishing Gray Raven. Like it just sounds like it to me. Like, not saying it's bad or anything. It sounds really good. Oh, showing it again. Is this the perspective of the female, like MC then, or no? Is this the same thing? Oh, it is. That's pretty cool. That's interesting. Is it different though? No, it's got to be the same, right? That's cool that they showed both of them. Wow. I still think I'm gonna play the male rover, to be honest. That's what I think I'm gonna play. They That was such a hard decision for me to like choose. I remember when Genshin came out too. I had the hardest time deciding who I wanted to play, but then I chose Ether over Lumine. In this game, it's like no exception. Like I was trying to think who I want to play. Same thing in Zenless Zone, ZZZ, Zenless Zone Zero. I still don't know who I want to play in that one. But in here, I think I'm gonna play the male rover. Not saying anything bad about the female one. The female rover looks crazy. She looks great too. But that's cool. They actually showed the perspective from both of them, and it's like literally the same trailer. I wish it was a little bit different, but that's pretty interesting. That was the opening cinematic. Let me know what you guys think of that. I think obviously visually it looks great. The characters look amazing. I just wish it was a little bit different, like not completely identical, right? That's I think that from my perspective, like I mean, the way I see it is that the first time you see it, you get the picture, right? You get what's happening. But the second half, like I could just skip it, knowing like nothing's different. It's like the exact same thing. I wish it was a bit different, like something you know. But from the perspective of the female MC, that's my that's my opinion though. But uh, other than that, it still looks good to me. Um, Let me know what you guys think of the trailer or the opening cinematics. Uh, I'm not sure if that's something that I don't think they could tweak that already because I feel like the game's already going to launch pretty soon after this closed beta test. But uh, let's get straight into the next topic already, and that is the developer message that they dropped. I think it wasn't yesterday. It was like the day before, I think. And I think a lot of this news in here, from what I'm gonna guess, like it's probably news we've already heard, but maybe like a few tidbits of it is something. Maybe there's some new info that we haven't heard before. But if you're a long time like if you're like a hardcore Wuthering Waves fan, you've probably already read this. But if you're not in the know, just like me, because I haven't read this, then we'll get it. Look, we'll read this together and we'll see what's getting changed. But again, let's get started. Um, let's see what it says. It shouldn't be too lengthy. Yeah, it's not that lengthy. I'll try to get through this fast. So it says, "Greetings, rovers. It's been a while since the previous Wuthering Waves beta test. First and foremost, we would like to express our gratitude to each and every one of you who has been following and supporting the development of Wuthering Waves. During this interlude, our team has made extensive changes, adjustments, and optimizations to the game contents based on feedback and suggestions we received from you." Yeah, they've made a lot of changes, specifically to the story and character design. But let's see what they have to say. What else is being changed? Before you embark on the next round of testing, we'd like to share with you a summary of our development process over the past 10 months. Okay, so it sounds like they're going to be covering like what I just said, like some of the stuff that they've already covered. And also a few sneak peeks of some new content that we featured in the second closed beta test. Oh, there we go. Exactly what I said. The story revision. Stories are a crucial part of a world as expansive as Wuthering Waves and have been our priority in the list changes. During this period, we performed a thorough overhaul of the in-game story. Yeah, the overhaul, what was it? Like, I forgot the percentage, but it was massive. Like, basically the whole story got reworked, from what I heard. Was it like over 90% of the story or something? I don't even remember what the percentage, like the number was. Let me know in the comments if you remember the number. All I know is it was like, it's a, a massive change, like something like that. Like, oh man, definitely takes a lot of effort. But it says during this period we performed a thorough overhaul of the in-game stories, removed settings that were deemed unsatisfactory. We made adjustments to the character designs accordingly. With the above changes necessary, with the above changes, necessary modification also need to be made to the overall story flow, animations, voiceovers, and other resources. Yeah, just like we said, like man, they literally like they did it though. Like they proved that that's how dedicated they are to the game. That's insane. So they could help, so they could please the fan base or the community. In this iteration of the test, we have implemented the skip function. Oh, I know some of my buddies that like that's one thing in Genshin that my buddies and like not only them but like a good portion of the community like has been asking for that. And like knowing that it's in this game too now, that's pretty good. I don't know if it's gonna skip everything, but let's see what they say. We have implemented the skip function, which aims to improve the player's overall speed and pacing when experiencing some story missions. In addition, for some story missions, I'm not sure. Okay, so that maybe that doesn't mean everything, right? Maybe like, maybe not the main story. I could be wrong. In addition, the inclusion of resonator story missions for Jian, and Ling Yang will help players fully experience the charm of these resonators in conjunction with supporting game modes to gain a grasp of a more immersive gaming experience. So I could be wrong, like I said, but like if you could skip everything, then dude, if you're trying to like reroll in this game, I'm not sure how the reroll is gonna be, but this is gonna help speed up the process massively. Like for those that don't care about story, like just in general too, like if you're just trying to get to the gameplay and like farm and whatnot and just do your thing, this is gonna help speed things up massively. So that's pretty good. I actually think this feature is pretty good to have. So I think that's definitely a plus. Improvements to combat. Here, let me move this down a little bit. Excuse me. Improvements to combat. The combat system from the previous beta was well received by the community. That's good. Using it as the foundation, we have made optimizations to the overall combat loop experience centered around the intro skill and outro skill. Detailed adjustments were made to aspects such as character skill effects. Nice. Okay, so I'm assuming they made them. They either buffed them or made them visually more appealing. General combat mechanics. Okay. Screen shaking. Ooh, screen shaking's a big one. I always like turn that off or like minimize that to like the least amount. Uh, Camera lock on. That's another big one for sure. Echo skills were also further improved, giving them the smoother performances, and echo skills boasting special utilities will also serve as countermeasures during necessary combat situations. Nice, this sounds good. 3 new resonators, Jiang Xing, Ling Yang, and Cal Charo have been introduced into the game. I don't know who Cal Charo is. What the heck? Uh, into the game for players to experience along with 3 bosses: the Impermanence Heron, the Mech Abomination, and Tempest Mephis, plus a new phase for Scar. Oh, okay. Sick. While reducing the complexity for players to gain the know-how of the in-game combat system, we also added high difficulty elites and the tactical hologram calamity game modes placed around the various areas of the map, which greatly reward players that are seeking for challenges. You know what? That sounds amazing because again, like not to like bring up Genshin like all the time, but players always ask for like end game content, harder difficulty, right? Or at least the end game players do. And knowing that they're already implementing stuff like this into the game is amazing. So, bravo for that. Right? Um, our goal is for players, regardless of skill level or appeal for action games, to become engaged as quickly as possible and fully experience the smooth and satisfying combat Wuthering has to offer. God damn. Graphic quality improvement. This is another big one. The adjustments to the in-game visuals introduce a more comfortable and polished appearance. Yes, I'm pretty sure all of us already know that the game, not only the story, not only did we know about the story, but the graphics were another part of that was a significant overhaul. Not just visually, but the player models as well. Like I'm sure we all know about that, or a good portion of us do. But the adjustments to the in-game visuals introduced a more comfortable and polished appearance. Internally, the team implemented a more detailed atmosphere tier system to address the player feedback of visual fatigue experienced from the previous test. Thus, focus optimizations were put into place to model renderings, shapes, special effects, clothing designs, etc., based on characters' appearances. During this test, players will have the opportunity to witness and be immersed into weather phenomena like the etheric seas, celestial anomaly, and retroact rain. Oh, I like that. All right, specific like special occasions that occur within the world or something. That's cool. Unique to the world of Wuthering Waves. In specific areas, distinctively designed scenarios or sceneries have been placed by combining our concept designs, hoping to bring players a different experience. Yeah, this is definitely good, right? It's gonna make it's not gonna be the same old. It's not gonna get boring fast. It's gonna be a bit different. So that's gonna be good. Lovely, lovely. Optimizations to echoes and new in-game events. Compared to the previous test, we included a dedicated tutorial guide for the echo system while also lowering the difficulty of discovering and obtaining echoes. Now, I think the one thing I did see from the previous, because I never covered it or I never made a video about like me watching the dev blog experience or the dev experience of like how they overhauled the game, but I did see how they added like kind of like a Pokemon thing, like where you can find different rarities of the echoes, and I thought that was so sick, right? That gives players like more motivation also, or like another incentive to like explore and like do just it gives them another incentive to like play the game right in a different way. So that's pretty cool. After obtaining an echo for the first time, the chances of reobtaining it in the same tacit field will be increased the more you challenge it. Okay. Current Echo Kit adopts a tag-based system which makes for versatile combinations and strategies based on the circumstances. Players will now also have the opportunity to encounter and collect elusive echoes. Is that the rare ones I was just speaking about? Final name may vary in the game. I kind of like that name. These echoes possess special appearances and features. Special. Wait, they have different features too? Oh, that is gonna be sick. They won't spoil them just yet. Ah, I thought it was just an appearance thing, but they're gonna have different, maybe different abilities. Oh, that's gonna be sick. You see, now that makes me feel like, oh, now we have to grind for that. Or now I definitely want to like see what they are. So, you see, like the incentive thing's already working for me. Holy moly, I didn't know about that. But last but not least, for the first time, limited time in-game events such as the Deaths of Elusive Realm and Overdash Club Track Challenge will also be available for experiencing in the test. Okay, so they're gonna. I mean, I kind of already expected this too, but they're gonna have like limited stuff, like limited events, so they could keep coming, like having you come back to the game, right? As well. Here, look how you could compare. I'm assuming the bottom one's the rare one. Damn, that looks sick. That looks badass. Okay, we're kind of at the end of the little segment here. As the game is currently in its development phase, some of the content players experience are still work in progress builds, which may lead to unpleasant gaming experiences. Okay, that's good that they're giving a heads up as well, right? That's what this final beta test is going to be for. Players will find some voiceover content for the characters and storylines absent within the game. Oh, I actually heard about this too. Yeah, like the VAs, like a lot of the stuff like that, the voiceovers aren't in the game yet or something. But rest assured, these contents are undergoing rigorous development as we perform further improvement to the game. Players participating in the beta test from the mobile devices may experience increased power consumption, overheating, and other issues for certain devices. Oh, okay, that is good to iron out right now. That is actually something that they need to fix for sure. So I'm glad that they announced that too. And not gonna lie, I didn't know about this, and knowing that it may affect my rig, now I'm like, because I think with my previous like, I forgot which game I tested in the past, but um it had a significant effect on my rig back in the day, and um Actually, no, it wasn't my rig. It was on my console when I was testing. Now I remember. I think it was my. I don't remember if it was my Xbox One or my 360. It might have been my 360, but my console was never the same after I tested like this one game, and for the life of me, I cannot remember what game it was. But it just shows you like that. Uh, that's what these beta tests are for, right? I'm pretty sure it was my 360 because my 360 was messed up after that. For an example, right? That's what the tests are for, and like you play them at your kind of at your own risks, right? Like because it's a work in progress build, and it can have issues. So knowing that this could overheat your rig, it could have more power consumption and other issues too. Um, and as you could already like kind of like guess or tell, like I didn't get in, so I was kind of bummed about that. But after hearing this now I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm kind of not as sad anymore. Like now I'm kind of like, now I'm kind of fine with not being in it because I don't want anything to happen to my rig because I can't afford another console or like a console itself or like another PC. So uh, maybe you know maybe it was a specific maybe it was destiny for me to not to get in for this then. But for those in the same boat, I mean, hey, we'll just wait for the finalized game and whatnot. But let's continue reading. I'm rambling. We are deeply aware that the game still has many shortcomings, and your feedback and suggestions propel us to strive towards the goal of presenting a game enjoyed by all rovers as we continue to carry out new features and enhancements to the game. Stay tuned to future developers' messages and on further updates and improvements to the Wuthering Waves. Thank you for being part of the Wuthering Waves community, and hope to see you soon in the upcoming closed beta test. Yeah, pretty good. A lot of the changes we've already come to know. We knew about, again, the optimizations to the echoes, the rarities that they gave them. We saw it in the gameplay. We all the new graphic fidelity and like new improvements to not only the environment visually, but for the characters as well. They got new character models and they look fantastic. Um, the combat's gonna be smoother. The camera's gonna like work fine. Less screen shaking. The bosses are improved. More bosses. And obviously the revised story. So a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. But the final part of the video, the as you already probably know, again, the closed beta test has already kind of all the invites have been sent out, and again, like I just said, I didn't get in, but I'm actually kind of fine with it now after reading what I just read. But again, for those of you that haven't checked, check your email. They even have a special link here where you could go and test. I think it's like the same link, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, it's not. I think if you click this, it takes you to the same like Wuthering Waves page, uh, and whatnot. It takes you to the same Wuthering Waves page. As you can see, I'm already logged in, and I'll include the link again so you can maybe check to see for those that haven't checked yet. But you could go here, log into your account, and you could click check qualification, and it'll tell you via if you got into the game or not, right? You can either check here or your email, and I obviously checked both, and I didn't get in. But again, let's not, again, I don't feel too bad, but it does start tomorrow. So for those that did, hopefully you enjoy, iron out those bugs, and like give some crazy feedback so we can polish and iron out and make Wuthering Waves, the final launch of the game, even better. Like it already looks crazy. So with a bit further more polish, I can imagine how crazy this game's gonna be. Um, Man, it's gonna be an experience. Like I could tell. We have so many crazy we have so many crazy mobile games in general that are just launching. Like we have the solo leveling games, Endless. later on throughout the year, I think we're gonna get the Seven Deadly Sins game. Um, I'm missing a lot. Even like maybe I don't even know when Girls Frontline's gonna drop the second one. But we have so many gotchas that are launching that are such at such a high standard. It's gonna be crazy. We have a lot to look forward to, especially for Wuthering Waves. So for those that didn't get in, again, let's not feel bad. Hopefully the game doesn't take too long to launch, but let them like when this test is over, let them iron out whatever you know, whatever they need to from this from the feedback as well. Um, so again, so the experience could be phenomenal when it does finally launch. But when it does, uh, I'll be there. Majority of you will be there, and I can't wait. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be basically it for the video. Let me know what you think of the opening cinematic. Was it to your liking? Again, I think the cinematic could have been different the second half of the video, but that's just me personally. Maybe like I don't mind them showing the female rover, but it would have been cool if it wasn't completely identical, like the scenario or the scene that they were in, floating in space and whatnot. I wish it was a bit different, right? Because knowing that it's the same, I'm just gonna skip it, right? Unless you're a crazy female rover fan, but that's just me. And then besides that, again, let me know your thoughts. Also on the dev blog, a lot of it was covered, right? But a lot of the stuff that happening within the beta, like about like the heating issues and like that there's gonna be some bugs and whatnot, and it's just like not a perfect build. I didn't know about that stuff, but again, let me know what your thoughts on that and all the changes and whatnot. And again, let me know if you got in, if you're excited for the game. And again, if you didn't, hey, hopefully the game's like right around the corner so we could actually play the finalized game and enjoy it. But till then, guys, or till next time, guys, that's gonna be it for me. You guys have a great one, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later, 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 later.